Contract first containing section 1 to section 75 and it deals with the general principles of the contract. While the contract second containing section 1 to 4 to section 238 which stating about the specific types of contract like indemnity guarantee, bailment and contract of agency. From such specific contract, today we are going to study about the contract of bailment. Now, contract of bailment definition of contract of bailment is stated in the section 148 of the Indian Contract Act. It says bailment means delivery of a goods to one person to another person for some purpose on a contract that when the purpose is accomplished, the goods must be returned or the goods shall be returned to the person who delivers them and is known as contract of bailment. In contract of bailment, who delivers such goods is known as bailer and to whom goods are delivered is known as bail. Now let's illustrate this. Let's make an example. Suppose A delivers his bike to B. A delivers his bike to B on a purpose to repair it and on a contract that when the purpose is accomplished, that means when the bike is get repaired, he shall return this bike to A, or here he can give direction and according to this direction we can dispose those goods. Means suppose A has a wish to sell that bike when get repaired, so he can direct him to make repair of that bike and sell it and give me the money only. So here it can also possible. So it is a contract of bailment. Now what is definition we have seen? The possession or the delivering the possession of good to another person on a purpose. What purpose is here? Purpose is here to repair the bike. So here is purpose, and when the purpose is get repaired, the purpose is get accomplished, the bike shall be delivered to the A return. The bike shall be delivered to A return, or he can dispose this bike. That means can dispose this bike according to the directions of A. So here is contract of bailment. The person who transfers the goods to another person is known as bailer, and the person to whom the goods are transferred is known as bailee. So what are the essential of the contract of bailment? We can find out or we can ascertain the essentials of contract from the definition itself. Now what we say in the definition that there must be a delivery of possession. Now what is the first essential of the contract? There must be a delivery of possession. So it is the first essential. Now second essential is there must be a purpose. And now what purpose is there? Purpose is here to repair that bike. So here is purpose. And what is the third essential? Third essential that we must or we shall return this bike or this goods to A. So here is third essential. When these three essentials are accomplished, or when these three essentials are fully performed, then we can say there is contract of bailment. And unless and until these three conditions are fulfilled, there is no contract of bailment. Means to constitute a contract of bailment, there are three things important. First is delivery of possession. There is delivery of bike by A to B on a purpose to repair that bike, and on a contract that when the purpose is get accomplished, the bike must be or the bike shall be returned to A, or it can be, that means B can also dispose their bike according to direction of A. That means B can further sale of that bike. So here is contract of, these are the essential of contract of bailment. Now what are the kinds of bailments? It is very simple to found the kinds of bailment. It is first is gratuitous, second one is non-gratuitous, means with consideration and without consideration. And with consideration चा जो काइंड आहे त्याला आपण फर्दर सुद्धा डिवाइड करू शकतो की फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ बेलर for the benefit of bailey and for the benefit of both. आणि आणखीन एक आहे काय तो म्हणजे प्लेज. प्लेज means what? When the bailment is done for the security of debt or for the performance of promise. Or easily you can say when bailment is made for security, that bailment is amounts to pledge. Okay? So these are three kinds of the bailment. Now we are moving to next point, that is the delivery how to be made. Delivery how to be made is defined under section 149 of the Indian Contract Act. Now how delivery is made? We already seen that there must be delivery of a thing. Now how it is made? It is made by two types. Now first have to see what is the object of delivery of the goods. The object of delivery of goods is to giving the possession of another person. I will deliver good. We deliver the goods because we want, or the object of delivery is the give possession of the goods to that person. Then and there only the delivery is completed. Now how it is completed? It can be completed in two types. First is actual delivery and second one is constructive delivery. Now what is actual delivery? Actual delivery means to giving simple physical possession. Suppose I have this duster or I have a pen and I am delivering that physical possession to you. That means actual delivery. And constructive delivery, it is an indirect delivery. Now here the example of constructive delivery means a delivering of the keys of a bike. It amounts to delivery of the possession of the bike to that person. That means suppose here A wants to deliver his bike to B. Instead of giving direct possession, he can give him the keys, and the keys amount to giving possession of the bike to B. That means doing in a certain act. What the act here done? The delivering the keys, not to the direct possession. So constructive delivery is delivering a things by doing a certain other acts which affects that the possession is go to the in hands of other person is known as constructive delivery. Now we are moving to next point, that is the duties of bailor and bail. First you have to understand the one basic principle that there are, or whether there are rights, there are must be remedies, or whether there are rights, there must be certain duties, because rights and duties are the sides of a single coin. Now let's first see what are the duties of bailor and bailey. Now first duty of bailor, it is stated in section 150, that is a disclosure of known facts. Section 150, disclosure of known facts, known faults in the goods. Now what we does in the contract of bailment, we delivers our goods to another person. So at the time of delivering those goods, we have to, that means the bailor have to disclosure all the known faults in the goods to the bailey. So here is one exception is here. When such bailment is for hire purpose, that means suppose I have one horse and I am making bailment of that horse to B. So and I don't know that that horse is lunatic, and by that way if suppose B is get injured, then also even I don't know that means what the point is here, the known faults. I don't know he is lunatic. But if the goods is for higher purpose, that means non-gratuitous purpose, then I compensate. That means it's my liability to compensate B. But for it is a gratuitous purpose, it is limited for known faults. Now the second duty is payment of expenses incurred by the bailey for the purpose of bailment. Section 158. Section 158. Was whatever the cost, whatever the expenses incurred by the bailey for the purpose of the goods or for the purpose of the bailment, those legal charges have to be paid by the bailier to the bailey. Suppose असं समजा की एक मी गुड्स ए ने बी ला काही गुड्स दिले, म्हणजे ए ने बी ला त्याचा हॉर्स दिलाय, एक बाईक गावाला चाललाय आणि ए ने बी ला त्याचा हॉर्स दिलाय की तुझ्याकडे ठेव म्हणून. पण आता इथे कॉम्पेन्सेशन म्हणजे ह्याच्यासाठी काही त्याला कॉम्पेन्सेशन मिळालं नाही किंवा त्याला काही चार्जेस दिलेले नाही. पण आता घोड्याला सांभाळण्यासाठी त्याला त्याचं चारा पाणी करावं लागेल, मग तो ते जे एक्सपेन्सेस आहे ते एक्सपेन्सेस it is duty of bailier to pay to the bailier. So here is second duty of the bailier. Now the third duty is indemnification of bailey. Indemnification of bailey for incurring loss when bailment is terminated prior to its interest. That means suppose a bailment for 10 days and bailier terminates that bailment on the 8th day. That means there is loss to bailey for 2 days. Then whatever those loss the bailier have to pay to the bailiff. So it's simple. Then receive back the goods. It's duty of the bailier when purpose is accomplished, bailiff should return the goods and he has to receive those goods. And this last one is indemnification of bailiff for loss caused to him due to defective title of bailier over the goods. Section 164. It's very beautiful duty of the bailier. Suppose I am here. Here is we already had seen this illustration. A transferring his bike to B, but meaning that while that time A's title is defective over that bike. That means that bike is belongs to C, and C directly sue B because what he seen at first instance that bike is in possession of B. Then suppose we had to file a suit किंवा B ला काही चार्जेस पे करावे लागले ड्यू टू द डिफेक्ट इन द टायटल ऑफ A, तर मग जे काही चार्जेस पे करावे लागले तो A लायबल आहे B ला देण्यासाठी. That means the indemnification of bailey by the bailier when there is a fault in the title of B. म्हणजे B A च्या जर टायटल मध्ये जर काही फॉल्ट्स असतील आणि त्यामुळे जर B ला काही चार्जेस पे करावे लागले असतील तर ते चार्जेस ए बी ला देणार. नाव मूव टुवर्ड्स द ड्युटीज ऑफ बेली. आता आपण बेलीच्या ड्युटी बघूया. व्हॉट आर द ड्युटीज ऑफ बेली? ड्युटीज बेलीच्या ड्युटी काय काय आहेत? First is reasonable care of goods. Section 151. Reasonable care of goods. The reasonable means शब्द reasonable वापरला. So what is means of reasonable? Reasonable means what the care of a person is taken for his own goods on that particular circumstances. म्हणजे एखाद्या परिस्थितीत एखादा व्यक्ती स्वतःच्या गुड्सची कशी काळजी घेतो त्याच परिस्थितीत बेलीने बेलरच्या गुड्सची काळजी घेतली पाहिजे. दॅट्स सिंपल. सो द केअर मस्ट बी रिझनेबल अँड ॲज लाईक टू ए प्रुडंट अँड ऑर्डिनरी मॅन. सो इट इज द ड्युटी ऑफ बेली टू टेक रिझनेबल केअर ऑफ गुड्स ऑफ बेलर. Second duty is not to use the goods inconsistently with the contract. Section 154. Section 154. Not use of the goods inconsistent with the terms and stipulation of contract, or not use of the goods of the bailier by the bailey in variance of the terms of the contract. That means suppose that means here A bails his bike to B. For what purpose? What is the term he is here to repair the bike, and now B is using that bike for racing. This is not duty. It is controversial. It is in variance of the terms of the contract. So it's duty of B to use that bike only for repair purpose, not for his own purposes. So the second duty is here not to use the goods inconsistently with the contract. Third one is not to mix the goods bailed with his own goods that is section 155 and 156. Section 155 and 156 मध्ये सांगितलेलं आहे की गुड्स मिक्स करायचे नाही. पण इथं असे काही एक्सेप्शन आहेत. जर बेलर जर कन्सेप्ट देत असेंट देत असेल तर मिक्स केलं तर चालते. पण जर सपोज त्यानं बेलर त्या ठिकाणी असेंट दिलं नाही किंवा डायरेक्शन दिलं नाही की तुम्ही मिक्स करा, तरी पण त्याने केलं बेलीनं, तर मग जे त्या गुड्सला वेगळे सेपरेट करण्याचे जे चार्जेस आहेत तो बेली देईल. आणि सपोज ते गुड्स सेपरेटच होऊ शकत नाही. सपोज 10 किलो तांदूळ 10 बॅग्स तांदूळ दिले आणि हे पण 10 बॅग्स तांदूळ दिले, मिक्स झाले, that goods cannot be separated. मग जो काही लॉस झालेला आहे बेलरला तो बेली पे करेल. सो इट इज अ ड्युटी ऑफ बेली टू नॉट टू मिक्स गुड्स बेल्ड विथ हिज ओन गुड्स. चौथी ड्युटी आहे रिटर्न द ॲक्रिशन इन गुड्स टू बेलर. सेक्शन 163. सेक्शन 163. Whatsoever accretion made, whatsoever increase made, whatsoever profit made to the goods bale, those profits is returned to bearer by the bailey with that accretion or with that increase. Suppose आपण एक्झाम्पल बघितलेलं आहे काऊ आणि काप. एखाद्या काऊला जर एक ब्युटिफुल काप झाला तर त्या काप सहित ती काऊ त्याला द्यायची, नॉट द काऊ द्यायची नाही तर काप द्यायची. सो इट इज अ ड्युटी of bailey to return the goods with the increase or with the profit. So आता duty झालेले आहेत. Now let's see what are the rights of bailor and what are the rights of bailey. Rights of bailor आणि rights of bailey काय आहे? तर राईट्स काय आहेत बेलरचे? आपण असं करू शकतो फॉर युअर एक्झाम्पल की ज्या ड्युटीज आहेत बेलरच्या ते राईट्स आहेत बेलीचे. जे ड्युटीज आहेत बेलरच्या ते राईट्स आहेत बेलरचे. म्हणजे एकमेकांच्या ज्या ड्युटीज बेलरच्या आहेत त्या राईट आहेत बेलरच्या आणि ज्या बेलरच्या ड्युटीज आहेत त्या राईट आहेत बेलरच्या. असं आपण ती करू शकतो फॉर एक्झामिनेशन पर्पज. इथं मग सोपं जाईल. नाउ लेट्स सी फर्स्ट राईट ऑफ बेलर. Right to sue the bailey. Bailor can sue the bailey if bailey act in contravention of the terms, if bailey make any destruction, if bailey makes any negligent over the goods, if bailey breach his duty, if bailey with malified intention or with his means real intention does any act to the goods, and if goods are get destructed, then it's a right of bailey to sue the bailey. It's right of bailor to sue the bailey and get the compensation. Now second right is right to terminate the contract of bailment. Section 153 मध्ये सांगितलेलं आहे. जर suppose the bailey acts in the contravention in the terms of contract, म्हणजे बेलरने जे ड्युटी काढून दिलेली आहे त्याच्या व्यतिरिक्त जर यूज करत असेल, म्हणजे आपण इथे बघितलं की दी बाईक इज डिलिव्हर्ड टू बी फॉर रिपेअर आणि यानं जर तो रेसिंग साठी किंवा अदर पर्पज साठी जर यूज करत असेल तर ऑन दॅट स्पॉट दी बेलर कॅन टर्मिनेट दॅट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. इट्स राईट ऑफ बेलर टू टर्मिनेट और मेक दॅट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट voidable. नाउ द सेकंड राईट इज third right is right to restoration of goods at any time when the bailment is gratuitous. म्हणजे बेलमेंट ही विदाउट कन्सिडरेशन असेल. जर गुड्स ह्या फॉर यूज पर्पज साठी दिलेले असतील तर बेलर कधीही ते गुड्स वापस मागू शकतो. जर नॉन ग्रॅच्युअस असेल and for that purpose he has to notify that. That's his duty. The fourth right is right to compensation. That means if bailey does any destruction to the bailor's goods, then bailor can ask for compensation. Fifth duty is right over increase or profit over the goods. That is section 163. We have already seen that whatsoever increase or profit is made, it's bailor's right to get that increase or get that accretion towards him. And the sixth duty is right to sue third person. It is stated in section 180. Section 180 says right to sue of bailer to third person. If a third person is making deprivation of possession or use of goods which are in possession of bailee, the bailer or bailee both can or either both can file a suit to that third person. Here, if we see deprived bailee from the possession of bike or from the possession for the use of bike, म्हणजे जर सी एक अदर पर्सन आहे, हा बेलर आहे, हा बेली आहे, आणि सी हा अदर पर्सन आहे. जर हा अदर पर्सन जर बी ला दॅट मीन्स बेलीला जर डिप्राइव्ह करत असेल त्याच्या पोझिशन मधून किंवा गुड्सचे यूज करण्यापासून जर डिप्राइव्ह करत असेल तर बेलर किंवा बेली कोणीही बी च्या सी च्या विरुद्ध सूट फाईल करू शकतो आणि कॉम्पेन्सेशन आस्क करू शकतो. ते सेक्शन 181 मध्ये दिले की कॉम्पेन्सेशनचे अप्रोप्रिएशन कसं करायचं नंतर. Now rights of bail, तर बेलीचे काय काय अधिकार आहेत. right to recover charges incurred by him and all legal charges. म्हणजे बेलरनं बेलीला असा एक्झाम्पल धरू की बेलरनं बेलीला एक क्लॉथ स्टिच करायसाठी दिला, म्हणजे कपडा शिवायसाठी दिलाय. मग जे काय त्याचं स्किल वापरलेलं आहे, जे काय त्याचं लेबर यूज झालेलं आहे, ते सगळे चार्जेस बेली हा बेलर रिकव्हर करू शकतो. इट्स राईट ऑफ बेली. दुसरा राईट काय, राईट ऑफ कॉम्पेन्सेशन. तर राईट ऑफ कॉम्पेन्सेशन कधी अराईज होतो की जेव्हा जे गुड्स आहेत ते डिफेक्टिव्ह असते. म्हणजे सपोज आपण पहिल्यांदा बघितलं होतं की बेलरची ड्युटी काय आहे की जे काही नोन फॉल्ट्स आहेत ते सांगणं, ते त्याला सांगितले नाही. मग त्यामुळे जर काही त्याला इंजुरी झाली तर इट्स राईट ऑफ बेली टू आस्क कॉम्पेन्सेशन टू बेलर. परत आणखी एक सांगितलेलं आहे आपण की जर डिफेक्टिव्ह टायटल असेल, डिफेक्टिव्ह टायटल मुळे जर बेलीला काही नुकसान झालं तर तो बेलरकडून ते मागू शकतो. Then third one is right to sue third person depriving the possession of the use of possession only. सांगितल्याप्रमाणे बेलर किंवा बेली कुणीही दोघांपैकी एक जण त्याच्यावर सूट फाईल करू शकतो आणि कॉम्पेन्सेशन मागू शकतो. And the last one right is right to lien over the goods bail. Right to lien over the goods bail. Section 176. Now what is the right to lien? Right to lien in Marathi is said that दहाना अधिकार. Right to lien means to keep the possession of goods in his own possession until and unless bailers may pay. जोपर्यंत बेलर पेमेंट करत नाही तोपर्यंत बेली ते गुड्स रिटेन करून ठेवू शकतो. दॅट इज लीन. त्याच्यामध्ये पर्टिक्युलर लीन आणि जनरल लीन पण येते. ते दोन प्रकार आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये. नाउ लेट्स टर्मिनेट द बेलमेंट. तर बेलमेंट आपला झालेला आता लेट्स टर्मिनेट दिस बेलमेंट. तर बेलमेंट कधी कधी टर्मिनेट होते. One can imagine when the bailment is get terminated. The termination of bailment कधी होतं. बेलमेंटचं टर्मिनेशन कधी कधी होतं. सगळ्यात पहिले आहे ऑन द एक्सपायरी ऑफ टर्म. जेव्हा if suppose a bailment is for a specific term and that specific term is get expired, on the expiration of that specific term bailey has to return those goods to bailor. That means there is termination of goods. It is stated in section 160. Also 160 says another ground is when the object of the bailment is accomplished. Here the object of repairing bike is accomplished. As soon as this purpose is accomplished, we have to return this bike to A. That means there is a termination of bailment. It is stated also in section 160. Third ground is an inconsistent act by bailey. Section 153. We have already seen. That means if the bailey does any inconsistent act and or invariance act with the terms and stipulations of the contract, it's the right of bailor to declare that contract voidable. So when the contract is declared voidable, there is termination of bailment. Now the fourth ground is on a destruction of goods bail. If suppose there is any destruction of goods bail, then there is termination of bailment. or suppose the goods bale to the belly are not more useful for the purpose of bailment, then and then also there is a termination of bailment. How it is can be made? Let's make an example. Here is E and here is B. A न B ला हॉर्स दिलाय फॉर रायडिंग पर्पज. डिस्ट्रक्शन जर म्हणजे हॉर्स जर मेला तर टर्मिनेटर झालं. पण जर हॉर्स इंज्युअर झाला, नाव आता बी त्या हॉर्सवर राईड करू शकतो का? नाही. म्हणजेच तो हॉर्स जो तो कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट आहे बेलमेंटचा त्याच्या पर्पज साठी युजफुल नाही. सो व्हेन इट इज नॉट युजफुल दॅट पर्पज, then also the bailment can get terminated. Now the fifth ground is by notice of termination by bailor to the bailey. When there is proper notice by the bailor to the bailey, then there is termination of contract. But here is one condition. Now next point is by the death of bailor or bailey. Section 162. Section 162 by something. By the death of bailor or bailey. If either party get died, then the contract of bailment is terminated. But there is one condition that the contract must be a gratuitous bailment, means without consideration. म्हणजे तर काय मॉनिटरी एक्सचेंज जर नसेल त्यांच्यामध्ये, जर मॉनिटरी एक्सचेंज असेल आणि तिथे जर काही कन्सिडरेशन असेल तर त्यांचे रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह बाउंड राहतील. पण इथं जी बेलमेंट आहे तीच ग्रॅच्युइटस आहे. त्याच्यामुळे when either parties get died, the termination of bail. So here is end of this topic. Thank you very much for your